Hi, friends. Once again, you are welcome, whether you watching us live or later on after this. Greetings to you all, and it's another wonderful day. We have Andy with us to house, and we have a few questions to, of course, answer and a few things to clarify. And we want to use this opportunity, most importantly, to invite to make a last minute invitation, more especially to a special group of people. If you are a retiree, you're heading towards retirement and so on, listen to the end and find reason why you should be part of this. The doors are fast shutting up, and you cannot afford not to be part of this great opportunity. So Andy, you are welcome once again.
Thank you, Comfort. Nice to be here.
Thank you. Thanks so much. So, Andy, I just want us to go straight to the point. All of these days we are so fired up. Everybody is fired up, or I would say almost everybody, because some people are still a bit confused. And we have had questions repeatedly coming up over and over, like, all founders has been launched. We've been hearing people complaining about the 403 errors, the invalid emails, the difficulty signing in, and all of those, and listening to other leadership council members and other leaders from other platforms, you have a response like what Marty said yesterday to all of these questions, that everything that worked on Go Founders will definitely work in O Founders. So what does that really mean for people who are having these complaints? Can you kindly break that down, please?
Yeah, sure. What you've got to bear in mind is we had an antiquated platform through Go Founders in effect, and we've upgraded it considerably to O Founders. But what they've done is they've had to migrate over 1 million accounts from one to the other. It's not something you're going to do overnight, and the problem is when you do that, there are certain glitches and certain irregularities that occur because of it. So what the new platform has to do is to stabilize. It has to take a few days, and it irons itself out. The bugs iron themselves out, and the tech guys get involved where errors occur. So yes, it comes up with error 403. I think I've got 3 or 4 of my positions that have had exactly that. But
Mm-hmm.
it's nothing to panic about. We're not going to get left behind. Ash has already made it clear that once everything is stabilized, once everybody can sign in and has got sorted, then 3 weeks from there, we're then going to go to the next stage, whatever that stage may be. So don't panic. It's just sorting itself out. But something of this magnitude, and one of our colleagues, Collins, covered this yesterday.
Right.
When you're trying to put together something of this magnitude, it's not something that can be done overnight. Well, our tech team are fantastic, and they've been able to do this because they've been working 24/7,
Mm-hmm.
and it's incredible. So yes, it is a massive new platform, and it has a few bugs in it that have got to be ironed out, and they're being dealt with now. And then
Mm-hmm.
once the system settles, everybody will be able to get in.
Okay, thank you so much, Andy. You just said something very important, because you said our tech team is very fantastic. And I really feel comfortable or consoled when you say that, because even me, I'm trying to close my eyes and check, I think what they are going through. And due to frustrations from the complaints we're seeing out there, which we say we keep assuring our people that everything will be all right. Some people get so impatient that they behave a bit not too nice, just due to frustration of about something that they can't help, but the helper is here busy working. Is there any reason? Can you give any reason to our viewers to at least say thank you or to appreciate our leaders, the
Oh,
IT tech, and so
absolutely,
on?
absolutely. What people still don't understand is this company are going to be building us our business, building us a business from scratch with little or no input from us. In effect, you have an initial founder payment of 97 plus your five, and
Mm-hmm.
then we have one activation fee, and that's it, just the
Right.
one. And then everything else is then paid from the commissions that come in. There are going to be floods and floods of people coming in. So this
Mm-hmm.
is $1 million business. Each
Mm-hmm.
founder has $1 million business minimum, right? So you've got to treat it as such, and you've got to treat it as a business. So be patient. Why? I really don't understand it. But our tech team, and I'm not technically minded, so I don't really understand what goes on in the background. But I have heard people say, if you're going to create one program that one program utilizing AI would have over a million lines of code. That would take someone 12 years to do. Sorry,
Right.
112 years to do on their own. Yeah, this has been done in no time at all.
Mm-hmm.
So they have to make sure it's right. It has to be fit for purpose before you go to launch. If we go to launch and there is a glitch or a problem with one of the products, people aren't going to come back.
Mm-hmm.
So this is why we as founders are the beta testers. Yeah,
Right.
they allow us to test the products
Exactly.
first to make sure that
What
they're
a
fit for
privilege.
purpose.
What a privilege.
Absolutely. Oh my word, absolutely. And I still don't understand how to use them, Comfort, but that's not the point. Uh, but the tech team have done a wonderful job. I mean, we're up, nearly up to 1,000 members of staff,
Mm-hmm.
and they have shift work. They work round the clock.
Right.
We had a meeting the other day, and with Ash when Ash came on, and these guys are still in the office at 5 in the morning, and they
Right.
don't want to go home. They want to get this done. It's
Mhm.
just incredible.
Right.
So yes, all credit
Wow.
to them and all thanks to them at the same time.
Exactly. I think this gives everybody reason because there are times we just need to explain. So when we come here and just watch us sitting on the screen, we think that maybe it's just a walk in the park, but it's not true, right? They go through a lot,
No,
and there's
absolutely not.
evidence in here to say thank you to them. Of course, why not? So somebody says on passive, I love you. Of course, everybody loves on passive. Thank you and thanks for joining. Yeah. So you know, we have this old thing of I don't know whether it's old habit that has actually eaten deep into our some of our founders. No matter how much you explain to them, the idea of three and it's free, it is never going away. People will still call you privately. People will send you messages. Oh, they are almost launching and I don't yet have the three, and so on and so forth. However, we have one of our great leadership council members, Michael Williams, who will say, your network is your net worth. Does that really answer the question to three and it's free, Andy?
So it's sort of. Michael Williams is a mathematician expert and
Mm-hmm,
a fantastic leader. If we take the activation fee as being $300, we know Ash is extremely generous, and he will be paying back a sizable proportion of that, probably 50, possibly even a larger percentage back to the founders. But let's take it as it's 50%. That's $150 that comes back into the kitty. Yeah. So if you're paying somebody that's got their first three 100 for each of the first three, that's your 300.
mm-hmm,
Yep. Okay, the next $50 that's free to be used, then that bit has got to then pay in the next three levels. But that, you've got three customers that are then they pay their activation fee of 300, and then they pay their monthly, but the monthly comes out because they've got three customers and their three customers have got three customers, and so on.
mm-hmm,
Now, what Ash has done, and again, this is genius, if you think about it, we're doing this from the top down, yeah, and from the bottom up. So he's created this or put this company together in Singapore
mm-hmm.
specifically there to create and provide the three for the guys uh, that have just
Wow.
joined. Yeah. And when you actually put this into perspective, you're likely to see somewhere in the region of 250,000 people coming in every single day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
Wow.
So it's going to take you what, 2 days, 3 days to get your three? It's that's nothing. We're talking about a monthly cost, and the monthly cost is covered by your first three.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yes, of course, it makes a lot of sense.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, and
Well,
he's quite right. At the end of the day, this is our income. Yeah, and the size of our group forms our income. So as the group grows, so does the income.
mhm,
And we've got 4.5 or 4.7 odd billion potential customers, and we are 1 million. So even
right.
if in the first year we have 100 million customers coming in, we're still in the top 1%.
Wow, that's massive. That would be massive, right?
It's
Wow.
mind blowing. Comfort.
Yeah.
It's absolutely mind blowing.
Wow. I know other people interpret this one of your network being your net worth from the fact that you should not limit. Some people look at it like, don't limit yourself to three. If you can be able to get more than three, bring them in. Because even though the company is ready to do everything for you, you can make your everything that you already have from the company even more if you can. Is that do you think that's
Yeah,
something to
uh,
encourage? Because
yeah,
some people just they are just tied to three, but others
yeah,
say no, look beyond three because beyond three is expanding your network and the net worth.
yeah. Absolutely. So let's put it this way. I'm not a recruiter
Me
or a
too, not.
builder. Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. So I don't know how to do that bit. I'm
Right.
very poor at it, but I know how to share things. So you share the opportunity with other people, and I don't
Mhm,
want these people coming back to me in 6 months' time and saying, "Well, you didn't tell me about this. Why didn't you tell me about it? Because this was an opportunity that I've missed." So if these people actually got engaged and took one single look at what's going on in the background, they would be in. There would be no doubt about that, because anyone in their right mind
mhm,
who would see what Ash has done, see how he's put this together and what he's trying to achieve, everybody would be in. End of story. Yeah.
mhm.
The thing is, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink. So
Right.
bottom line is, you can put this in front of as many people as you like, and they won't even read it. Now
Mhm.
that's a shame, because
Right.
sooner or later they will be in. They'll come
Exactly.
for the products, or they'll come for the money. It's as simple as that. So,
Exactly.
you know, if we take um, an example and say, look, you're going to get your three within a couple of days. Let's put it that way. But once you've got your three, let's say that it takes the company 3 months to provide you with three further clients.
Mhm.
Yeah, so we do the maths here. It goes you plus three, that's four, times three is 12, plus your four, 16. 16 times 3, 48, plus your 16, 64. Next level down, 64 times 3, 192, plus your 64, 256. So at the end of the first year, you'd have 256 customers. Now, I don't know what that's going to produce as far as income is concerned, and quite frankly, I'm not bothered. I know I'm
Me
sorted. I'm a
too.
founder, so it's
Me
not
too.
an issue. But my point is that if you were to share this opportunity with simply 9 others that came and joined us on this journey, you multiply those figures by 10. So you've multiplied your income by 10 as well. So
Wow.
if, for argument's sake, and the pure example, I'm not saying this is correct or anything else, but let's say that 256 is worth $1,000 a month. If you've got 9 others in your group that you've taken the time to actually show the opportunity to, and they've seen the light bulb like the rest of us have, and they've
Mhm.
come on board, you'd have 2,560 clients, customers at the end of
Wow.
the first year. So that 1,000 is now 10,000 a month.
Whew.
Well, I don't know about you, but who wants the 10,000, not the 1,000?
I know, right?
And it doesn't take much to actually share it. You
Mhm.
must have in your email, contact list 100 people. Simple. So,
Mhm.
it is an excellent opportunity to be able to help others at the same time. And I don't know about you, but I have many people in my friend circles that have called this various names and what have you, and simply aren't interested. Well, they will get it sooner or
Right.
later. Yeah,
Exactly.
it's a shame it's not now, but hey, not a problem. Your choice. I've shown you, and that's the key.
Exactly. So they're taking an informed decision by not going for it, but they know that this thing exists and then they're not going for it. So choice is theirs, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Well,
So,
as I said, most of them don't even look further. Oh no, I'm. They've just made a judgment call based on the fact that I've sent them some information,
mhm.
nothing more. And then you go onto Google and you look on reviews and what have you, and we still have idiots out there that are posting rubbish, that
Right.
don't know what's going on. So if you want to listen to that, that's fine. We know different, don't we, Comfort?
Yeah, sure, sure. We know the difference. That's why we can't go to sleep, of course.
Yeah, absolutely.
Exactly. Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much. You know, one of the things, like you just rightly said, we have more than enough information, but people will not read, people will not listen, and so on. And you won't, the last two questions I have here are things that you have discussed on this platform, but I'm bringing them back because people are still struggling with this, right? You know, the CEO advises that everybody should declare their taxes from the income they would make from on passive. But the question remains, how am I going to do this? How do I go about this? I know that it may be different from place to place, but at least maybe just give some general advice.
Okay.
Yeah.
My advice would, as a financial advisor, my advice would be that your first port of call, no matter what country you live in, is to have a chat with an accountant, a qualified accountant or bookkeeper that is qualified, that knows or understands about tax. Yeah, we're going to let's put it this way, Comfort. If I'm earning money, I'm happy to
Mhm.
pay tax.
Right. Sure.
Yeah, and the more money I earn, the more tax I'm likely to pay. Now, there are ways and means of being able to play the game so that you still pay your tax, but you can also benefit others. So we've got Obless, for instance, that is
Hmm.
one of the products that are bringing out. So you get a tax deduction on it. But at the end of each year, they're going to give you a statement that say this is what you've earned from on passive. Now you take that to your advisor, and I would suggest you see an accountant before we start earning money. Yeah, some of
Okay.
us have set up companies,
Right.
again, dependent on where you are. But I've taken advice as to which is best for me based on the country I live in. Yeah, so
Hmm.
you should do the same. Whether you're in Papua New Guinea, Cameroon, in France, in the UK, in Canada, or the US, every country has a different rule and regulation as to how things work. So,
Hmm.
first port of call, go speak to an accountant. Yeah.
All right.
Most of them won't charge you for a 20-minute sit down. You can give them an idea as to what's going on, how things are expected to work. I
Hmm.
mean, Christ, half of the accountants, if they are switched on enough, they will say, "Can I join as well, please?"
I
So,
know.
yeah,
That's what was in my mind.
yeah. But it's best. I would strongly advise that you go see somebody
Right.
in the accountant's field, somebody that knows about tax in your particular country. And as I said, they won't necessarily charge you if you're having a 10-minute sit down with them, 10, 20 minute sit down.
Okay. Thank you so much. That's very useful information, Angie. I really do appreciate that. So, last time we had a long chat on this, and I really, really do need your advice again. This is so lies deep down my heart. Let me use this opportunity to tell you a story. I don't know if I told you last time, Andy, when I was in the high school, the last year so that I would graduate and go to the university, this social insurance company was just near the school where I went to. One morning on my way to school, we met somebody who died near this place because they came to from far away, like to follow up paperwork for their retirement, and they died. All the suffering, he would have trekked long distances and so on. So I've always been haunted by that. And then thinking that maybe retirement is just a time to die. But then this comes an opportunity where it tells the story different. How do you think on passive can help prepare someone for retirement or help someone who is already in retirement?
Okay.
On
I'm going to relate this to the UK because I'm from the UK. So I know that the average pension pot in the UK is £68,397, which would provide an income of about £3,000 a year. Not a lot. And if you've paid your national insurance, or we have the national insurance stamp in the UK, in the UK social security, etc. And every country is slightly different. Some have, some haven't.
Mhm.
But that provides an average for the average person, 130 £136 70 a week.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Mhm.
which works out just over 8,100 odd pound a year. So add the two
Oh my
together,
God.
I
Mhm.
get an income in retirement of £846 a month. Now, if I'm renting a property,
Oh
that
dear.
wouldn't cover the rent, let alone living expenses, gas, electricity, bills, etc.
Bills. Right.
And that's the average retirement income. Okay, now I said that if you did nothing earlier on, and I told you, 256 people in the team, assuming that it takes that long for the company to provide that. It, these are conservative figures, so bear that in mind. But
Right.
if that does equate to $2,000 a month, that will continue to grow first and foremost. But
Mm-hmm.
secondly, in the UK terms, that's about 1,460 odd pound a month. That's
Mm-hmm.
nearly twice what you were getting as the average pension, where people have paid into a pension scheme for 30 years.
Oh my.
So that's after 1 year,
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting more than almost double what I would have got from the system had I paid into it for 30 years.
Wow.
Now,
We.
I personally, I've sold or offered clients savings vehicles in order to save for their pension. So, again, if you relate it to expats offshore, certainly in the Middle East, they pay anywhere between $500 and $5,000 a month between 10 and 25 years. So let's take the average of $1,000 a month for 20 years. That's 240,000 that they've paid into the kitty in the hope that it's worth 800,000.
Mm-hmm.
That's likely to provide them an income of 40 grand a year. Okay.
Right.
If you project forward those figures that I gave you earlier, then there is no comparison. And that's just after 2 years, not
Mm-hmm.
20, or 240,000 that you've paid in as opposed to 400 odd.
Right.
Now I know which one I'd rather have, and as I said before, I'm out of financial services. That's me done. I don't need this any longer. On passive becomes my business, and
Mm-hmm.
that is really what excites me, because this one is not going to take me to the cleaners like every financial services company I've worked for has. So
Right.
yeah, absolutely. This is the last business I will ever need.
Wow. I know this is so, it's so consoling, and I don't know. I pray if anybody watching us, be it now or later on, if you have an elder brother, a father, a sister, an uncle who is approaching retirement or is already in retirement, this is that opportunity. Christmas is here though. You may offer as a gift. You may present, just let's just share, let's just think about our elderly people and do this, because I think it doesn't it feel good, Andy, to know that, because I think that with good income and all of these things, you have better quality of life and you live even longer. It's,
Absolutely. We have a one of our uh, group guys is a guy called Dennis Owens who's 89. Dennis has a plan to buy a narrowboat and live on this narrowboat. So he 89. He's got
wow.
plans for the next 5 or 6 years
Yay.
of what he wants to do based on his
Yay.
income coming in from on passive.
Wow.
He's phenomenal. But like you say, it gives you a
Yeah.
new lease of life, because all of a sudden there's an excitement about what's going on,
Mm-hmm.
and how things are going to do. There's no company ever on this globe that has sat there and said, yeah, we'll build you a business and it's going to cost you this amount of money.
I
No,
know.
no one, because everybody is in it for themselves, except this man Ash Mafara.
All right.
Now
Yes.
we talked on the webinar on Sunday,
Mm-hmm.
and Marty was explaining that he talks to Ash on a regular basis and said to Ash, "Have you had any time off since you've been traveling?" He said,
Right.
I had 4 hours today." "Oh, great. What did you get to do?" We went and bought a load of food and gave it to the homeless."
I know.
Y-
Yeah.
but- Oh my word! So I know who I'd rather work for. I certainly don't want to work for Jeff Bezos.
Exactly. Everybody, I think that in this case, everybody would know exactly who they want to work for. Hi, Joanita. Thanks for joining. Right. You have just touched this. Let's quickly go on to that, because the reason why you and I are here, Andy, is because of Ash's heart. And it's because of the time he spent those 4 hours, what he spent those 4 hours doing today is why
Hmm.
what he wants us to do. So, what are some of the ideas you have? What are your plans when it comes to serving your community and reaching out to people in need?
This is a good one. I love this because I listened to one of the webinars that Ash did last year, or earlier on this year, I think. And what he was trying to create, or what he wants to create, is a million millionaires,
Yeah.
so that they become Mother Teresa's. Because what he's asked or said to you to do is to fill your tank first, and then you'll be
Right.
able to help others. Now, the nice thing about it is that you and I certainly, and all of the UK guys that we when we do the webinars, we all know we're sorted. So it's now, what are our thoughts on what we're going to do in after that's done? Where are we going to put this money?
Right.
How are we going to help our local communities? So there's a number of things that I would like to do, and I'm not going to share everything, but
Right.
something very close to my heart is the veterans here in the UK. Many
Mhm.
of them work, you know, serving our country. Then they come back and they lose their halls of residence or
Right.
their living quarters. So many of them end up on the street because they
Yes.
can't find a job, and some of them, unfortunately, suffer from post-traumatic stress.
Right.
So it makes life a lot harder. So you have a situation where you've got an awful lot of homeless vets that need help as well. And I know this is very close to Red's heart, being
Yeah.
having been in the forces himself. So that's what I'd like to do. I'd like to try and help these people.
Yeah.
How we do that at the moment, I don't know, but that's
Something can
my
always be
first book.
doing.
Yeah, that's
Right.
one of
I
my.
know. Yeah. That is. You know that I'm African, Andy. So we
No,
come to this
I
hot.
didn't guess.
Stop now.
Sorry. One, yeah,
You should know 100%. I know you know it. You know, I come from home. I came from home. It's hot and things like that and so on. And even I come from the mountains, though in the morning it's really cold and we still do need warm things. So when
yeah,
I came, it took me a bit of time to actually get used to winter. So I've always been tortured when I see people on the street. I'm just like, God, I
mm,
don't know how they meet the next second. So when I learned that among these people sitting on the streets are veterans and I know what they do for homeland, I got even I get more tortured, So I always
yeah,
think about this. I think I'll definitely join your team, you and Red, because I can't go without being part of to reaching out to these people. I have my own kind of thing. I'm for refugees and so on. But
yeah.
when it comes to the West, I have a heart for those who stay on the streets, especially the veterans. So, as a team, as a family, I think we can do just a lot. So, anyone watching us, please tell us what are your ideas because people will look at that and they pick a lot of stuff and they get ideas. Ash just wants us to reach out to these people. I think, yeah.
Yeah, it's
So,
fabulous. The system is absolutely total genius.
right,
It's
it
phenomenal,
is.
and it will give us the opportunity to do exactly that, Comfort. That's
Yes.
amazing.
And happily too, it's just
Absolutely.
amazing. Yeah, because
Mm,
you visit every platform, you hear what people share. People don't even talk money, they only talk what they want, how they want to go and help,
mm,
and it
mm, mm.
feels really good, trusting that we all live as we promise and just do it, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. All right. Thank you. I don't want to keep you here for so long. I'm just
No
happy
problem.
that you really made time to come, Andy. I really appreciate. This is going to go a long way. So many people will definitely come back to it, and you get the feedback to know that you really was useful information. So I don't know.
Okay,
Do you have
great.
any last word of advice to founders, to those sitting on the fence before we
If
close?
you, yeah, I mean, okay, we know there are difficulties for some people logging in. I can't get into some of my accounts yet, but I'm in not panicking. There's no need to panic. At the end of the day, we know that once things are stabilized, it's going to be at least 3 weeks until we go to the next stage anyway. So we've got 3 to 4 weeks,
Mhm.
and things will be ironed out and sorted out in that 3 weeks. So just bear with it. Once you get access, get into the back office and have a look round. It's similar to the old site that we had, the Go Founders site, but there are more features, more opportunities, and there's more detail about the products as well. So get involved, get engaged,
Right.
understand what's going on, and understand exactly how this is going to make you successful because you
Right.
can't fail.
Exactly. No, that's what Ash says. Either you succeed or you succeed. So we don't fail on passive, right? So thank
Absolutely.
you. Yeah. Thank you so
Thanks,
much,
Comfort.
Andy. Yeah. Thanks for your time and have a wonderful evening. Thanks. Yeah.
And you.
All right. Bye.
Bye.